say. So if you don't do one, you do that one. October. Do not do
Some people think you don't have the right to say it's my country. Before they give in, they rather fuss and fight than say it's my country. I'm paid 300 years or more of slave driving strength and house on my feet. This is my country. Too many have died in protecting the miracle saved lands. We've survived the long road, and I want you to know that your face is in land. And I know you will give consideration. Shall we perish unjust or live equal as a nation? This is my country. And I know you will give consideration. Shall we perish unjust or live equal as a nation? This is my country.
Good morning. Good morning and welcome to what's really happening. And I am so happy to have y'all tuned in this morning. I'm here with the game changer, Mr. John Green. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
All right, we're going to jump right in to the District 5 race. All of you know that this is a hot race. I think there's 11 people in this race. 3 Caucasian and 8 African American. Some from the old school, some that has been there, done that, bought the t-shirt, but we're going to talk about that. But let me just get into my sponsor. It is a call-in show. The number here is 813-728-1522. Calvin Auto Body Shop has a new owner, Keon. The Keon, who's the football, used to be the football player.
Pittsburgh
Steelers. Well, he have purchased Calvin's Auto Body Shop out in Port Tampa. The phone number is still the same, which is area code 813-831-6135. And we want to say congratulations to Keon and Mr. Calvin from Calvin's Auto Body Shop. He's able to go ahead and retire, and Keon is there. It's called CBS, Collision Body Service. CBS, that's the new name, Collision Body Service. And so we say, welcome, sir. Also, Attorney Thomas Parnell, we say thank you so much, sir, for being a supporter of this program. So those of you, not just this program, but things in the city of Tampa, I believe in supporting those who support me. I don't care what you look like, what color you are, but if you have a vested interest in my community, then I support you. Attorney Thomas Parnell, 813-975-4444. And if you've been in those car accidents, lady called me just before I came on the air. If you've been in those car accidents 7 days a week, don't hesitate to give me a call. Michelle B. Patty, 813-495-3702. And on that note, I want to thank all of you who use the service. You pass my phone number along. I thank you so much. And we don't take it lightly, because there's 1,001 places you can go. Some is not Yeah. Okay. We're gonna bypass that. Everybody's not for the people. Just remember that one. 813-495-3702. Once again, this is a call-in show. 813-728-1522. Now we're gonna jump into all these people who's running in the race. What you got to say about that, John?
I just want to say it's a good thing, right? It's a good thing that democracy is still working, right? And everybody has an opportunity to get a chance at their goals and aspirations and dreams of what they want to do, right? And everybody have to put in the work. So I say it's a good thing, right? This is it lets me know that now it's time for change because people are ready, right? People are ready. People jumping in because they're tired of being left out, left behind, uninformed, not taught, and all that. So
well, it's
a good
unfortunate,
thing.
John. I can't agree with you with that on all that whole statement because some folks are jumping in has been there. They've been to city council, they've been to county commission, they've been on the sports authority, they've been at Tampa General, and look at the district. What did they contribute while they was there? Why would you recycle old stuff that got you nowhere? They benefited themselves when they got out of office. Guess what? They did nothing for the people. Now we have a lot of young people, different people coming in. And I just want to remind the listening audience about a dear friend of both of ours, the late Councilman Frank Reddick. Councilman Frank Reddick said that if District 5 is not careful, listen good, people, if you're not careful, the face is going to change on that dice. That the person who will represent that dice might not look like you, might not have your same interests at heart. And so we see that when we see 3 Caucasian, you see a couple of African Americans who are Republicans that has gotten in that race. So it's going to be incumbent on the voters because it's going to be a low turnout. I've been following these races forever. There is going to be a low turnout. There is going to be a runoff. So you got to make sure and very sure that you're not bringing people back who has access to grind, people who has vendetta against the system, against people. You look at some of the people that has endorsed some of these candidates. Most of these people that endorse them are losers. They lost themselves. And I'm gonna call out a person, Tamara Schamberger. She don't even live in this district. Tamara Schamberger, she has endorsed someone because she is bitter because the voters spoke loud and clear that they did not want the rhetoric, they didn't want the headache, they did not want her back in that seat. And so she have an axe to grind, and her axe is really towards me because if you look at it, when she ran for office, nobody knew of her. Nobody heard of her. People did not give her any money, but it was Michelle B. Patty and my family. And go back and pull, it's still a public record, pull her record and see who gave monies. It was my family. Who was out there on the street? It was me. People who brought her to me, they dropped her like a hot cake and ran off. The people that she got in bed with for the second go round was the same people that did not endorse her. Yeah, I'm talking about Gwen Miller, Les Miller. None of them had anything to do with Tamara Schamberger when she was running that first time.
Well,
got in there.
Well, it goes to speak to culture, right? It goes to speak to culture. Like I've been saying for the longest, where is the Black culture in Tampa, right? We don't have a Black community. We have a culture of Black groups, right? And it affects everything up to this point, right?
And so, a lot of our bully groups who want to bully people, who want to get on Facebook, call you out your name, say all kind of derogatory things that are untrue, and they try to bully the voters into going their way. And the voters have been smart in District 5, and that's why the late Councilwoman Gwendolyn Gwen Henderson was elected, because the voters seen through all the manure, and they did not re-elect Councilman Orlando Goose to that seat, who, by the way, is also in the race. Look at the folks that is lined up with him. Same people. It's like a old movie, old rerun, the same people that was lined up with him before. But I also received a call from a young lady who was looking at the lineup, and they're saying birds of a feather, same feather flock together. And they're saying that the people can overlook his bad behavior, the things that he did, because they have done those same things. We're talking about one of the people, prominent person, back when he was working, he was fired from a prominent job. And I'm not going to call his name. I'm not even going to call his job, but he know who we're talking about and who the lady was talking about. She said, Bishop, don't you remember? He got fired because he was messing with white women while he was married. And he was fired from the job. So why would we be shocked about him supporting this person with this bad character?
So and let me say this. Let me say this about Goose and anyone else who have been elected. Now, since he's in the race, he's a candidate. We could talk about him. And one thing that is a fact that nobody can't deny, this fact is that he had one term. And in that one term, he was beat when Councilwoman Gwendolyn Henderson ran. Correct. So you can't take that fact away. So the people spoke on that, right? The people said, no, we don't want it for whatever reasons they decided not to vote for him. But he's not in that seat.
But you have to give the reason, because most people, like Councilman Reddick, did the 8 years. Kevin White, he moved on to county commission. Most people who gets in those seats didn't comment. They usually do their term. He didn't finish his term out because it was marred with a lot of stuff about his past, about his background. And I'm pretty sure the people in District 5 are not all with dementia. They still remember some of the things he did. And you got to remember, he was there for 4 years. What he didn't do anything to really help that district. He helped the Strass Center, downtown. He voted to make sure that they got, I think it was like $25 million. If that's not the correct amount, somebody call me. But if my memory is serving right, it was about $25 million that could have went over in East Tampa. There was a lot of things in his thing. He got the big head. Nothing goes on unless he says so. You got to kiss the ring. So a lot of people in that district was turned off about him and his nasty attitude. Gwen Henderson, it seemed like she was there for 4 years. And I still can't believe it was only 15 months with all the things that she accomplished, because she didn't worry about the naysayers. She didn't worry about the name callers. She didn't worry about the bully. She read contract. She looked and seen what was in the best interest of the district. And that's why Chef Eric, a black catering company, and other black catering company right now today can go in and bid for jobs at Julia B. Lane. And we know with her repast, there was a black catering company that catered Gwen's repast at Julia B. Lane. But Chef Eric called this show What's Really Happening and said that for 4 years, while Goose, 5 years, the 4 that Goose was up there, nothing. They could not get into Julia B. Lane. This lady, in her short term, now they're able to do contracts at Julia B. Lane.
And not only that, the thing about Gwen Henderson, and we want to talk about the candidates, but the thing about it is that I heard her talking one day about the process of naming things. Mm-hmm. And the thing that I liked about her is that she, as she was pushing for issues, she was teaching at the same time. Yes. Like, this is what you need to do, right? This is what needs to happen. So she gave the process, even in terms of naming Fair Oaks, right? She said it's a process of how you name things. So she was telling and teaching the community at the same time. And let me say one thing about anyone who want to say about maybe her daughter not ready for it because she's too young. Ariel, mm-hmm. Not ready for it because she's too young or anything like that. Well, Ariel was the only daughter, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm quite sure she was schooling Ariel on different subjects while her mom was in the seat. So, right? So why not? And because she may have been doing that, what it tells me is that at least Ariel was under someone who was actually in the seat
she
versus people in the community who know the seat and still don't bring up
I
anyone
can
else.
actually vouch for that. Ariel worked on the campaign. Ariel was there. She know Guido Maniscalco was the youngest city council person ever in the city of Tampa. So it doesn't matter about the age, and we see that Guido is still there, still doing a good job. So, but this young lady, Howard graduate, is smart, articulate, knows the issues, talked about things that some of these candidates seasoned haven't talked about. But you have people that was pushed off of certain boards and they want to come back. There's too many acts to grind. This community should not be a party of people who wants to grind an axe with the mayor. Are they mad because the mayor appointed someone else to the sports authority board and then appoint them? There's a lot of stuff that people need to look at and investigate when they go in there. Don't go with all this and the hype people out there with all their foolishness. You need to have someone that can articulate, who knows the issue, can read the issue, and going to do what's best in that for that seat. But I just want to read some excerpt from Political Facts about.
I like dealing in facts. I like black and white. And,
correct.
And that's the thing I like about about what we do, right? Because it's factual.
Right.
It's so in black and white. So if anybody wanna make any comments or say how messy stuff is and all that, no different than journalists digging up information
and that's what we're gonna read from a journalist. Political Facts, and it's not about hate. As I see people, hate. No, these are facts. These are things that the folks in District 5 need to be reminded of, and those that are new to the area need to know. Oh, I forgot to say, this is a podcast. You can find us on YouTube. Those of you might on Facebook, it's Michelle B. Patty. We want you to please pass along. Go ahead.
The phone number.
The phone number again is 813-728-1522. This is what Political Facts started out with. They say a reputation as a screw up, Orlando Goo's career marred by anger issues, abuse, and that at that time a kid shot someone with his gun. He is an embarrassment as a former police officer, and he's an embarrassment as an elected official. He needs to move on. The Tampa City Council chair, that was when he was the chair back then, they say on July the 21st, 1994, about 4 years into his career, Goose was wrapping up practice with the police athletic league football team he coached. Goose was to give a 50-year-old player and the player's young sister a ride home. While loading equipment into the trunk, Goose took out a box containing a black pouch and radio. Goo's weapon was in the pouch. The two children knew it was there. Goose sat in the front seat with the underage sister next to him. The pouch rested in the front next to Goose under a pile of books. Another coach called for Goose. He got out of the car. The player reached for the pouch to fill the gun. When he picked up the pouch, he accidentally pulled the trigger, shooting his sister in the leg. Political Facts, they're saying that Tampa the record listed about 24 incidents where Goose conduct as a police officer was investigated. Now, this when he was a police officer, he was a screw up then. They say record shows a pattern of negligence, misnomer, violence, and a struggle with telling the truth. This is what was in his police jacket that you could pull right now, that I pulled and found all this stuff out about it. Political Facts went on to say it's not normal to have a disparate record that extensive with those allegations on there. You have a lot of missing court speeding complaints, but won't see those. Tampa Police Benevolent. So okay, they went on with that. All right. One of these chief he recently retired, was Brian Dugan. Since leaving Tampa Police Department, Dugan has remained relatively quiet. Now he won't stop talking until Goose go. He's an embarrassment as a former police officer. He's an embarrassment as an elected official. He needs to move on. Dugan said, "We lost count of how many chances this man has." Goose has come. Okay, now because this is a long article, but the behavior displayed in this disciplinary record parallels the sexual aggression attitude that Goose is accused of, and that's when they went on to talk about what was going on with this other thing. But Goose was suspended as an officer. It was found that he lied about the details of an arrest. Goose took a suspect into custody during a 1992 grand theft investigation. Goose told a sergeant that it was a boyfriend-girlfriend dispute and no handcuffs was used and no report taken. He then left to go to an off-duty job, but when the sergeant spoke with the other officers, they found a suspect had not only been arrested, but property recovered. The officers entrusted the paperwork with Goose. So he lied. He lied on paperwork. The only reason they saying he's kept his job that he did because we had a black police chief at the time that covered up a lot of stuff. But there is something that we need to be very, very careful about when it comes to Goose and making a report. There was an incident that took place at Robertson High School where this young girl had perceivably had ran away from home. All right, they found this girl. Let's go here. They say, okay, the negligent issues weren't exclusive to his rookie year. After more than a decade, people, that means more than 10 years with the department, Goose forgot to notify a mother that he knew her daughter was planning. Now, he knew ahead of time that this child was going to run away, but he didn't tell the mother, became preoccupied with other events despite having seen the mother in person. The girl ran away the next day. According to an internal affairs report, Goose then got into a screaming match with the mother over the phone. When the daughter's clothing was found in a drainage ditch, he told the mother, yeah, there saw bloody panties in there. Heaven knows what she's been doing. Now, he's a police officer talking to this mother who has a runaway child. Now, here bloody panties, and he telling her, I mean, as I have a daughter, I don't know, I probably would have jumped on him. It wouldn't have been ugly, but how you as a police officer saying this kind of derogatory stuff to this mother who's concerned about her child, and you done found bloody panties and you talking trash. Goose was then reprimanded for failing to secure the evidence. Even though the clothes and bloody underwear gave the impression of foul play, Goose didn't file the property. Instead, he kept the evidence at his desk for 2 weeks, people. He kept this child bloody panties in his desk for 2 weeks. So y'all that should be very, very concerning, especially after the allegation came up about his aide and what was said. And it goes on and on. But I think y'all get the gist of what's what about his former aide daughter. He looking at her breast. He got a problem. It seems like he has a problem. It appears that he have a problem dealing with young girls. First, you got the little girl sitting in the car next to you. You taking the brother home. They say the brothers, the other players in the back seat, blah, blah, blah. And then the brother missing shoot the sister with the gun, with his own gun. Now you have bloody panties, and you keep them in your possession for over 2 weeks. This mother don't know whether her child has been murdered, raped, killed, but you're a police officer. He should have never have gone to city council, but this stuff was hid and wasn't brought out. Okay, now let's get to current day. Here you talking about this child, her big boobs.
How old?
This child was just she was a senior going at Blake High School at the time when this here took place.
He was running
city council. No, he was in the seat.
He was in the
seat. This is how he got out the seat.
Because we want to be clear.
No, we very clear. This just recently happened. That's why he lost the election, because of the sexual harassment charges. Now he keep out here lying, and his handlers are saying he was cleared of charges. There was never, ever, ever any criminal charges filed against Orlando Goose. Let's clear that up. The person attorney came on what's really happening and explained that it was sexual harassment allegations that was made, and they wanted the family to name this child who was already embarrassed, who was, I mean, It was ugly at the time. But Goose went into Florida Sentinel Bulletin. Some of y'all keep all those old papers. He admitted that he said it. He said because he was concerned about her posture. This child has a whole mother and a whole father and a whole village. Why are you watching her booze to the point you concerned about her posture? And if we read, y'all go pull up Political Fact, you'll see that was the same thing. He admitted when he get caught to saying stuff, but he said in that newspaper it did not rise to the level of harassment. You're the perpetrator. Do you think things gonna rise to that level?
In the posture, I mean, what does the posture have to do with work? I mean,
this child, no, the child was not even working for him. The child was not working for him. The child mother was his aide. That he would see the child because the aide worked for him. He had no business, people, saying anything about the child.
Right.
Now let's go on to the other lies that he told. He lied and said he lived in District 5. He did not. A person have a problem with truth. Why would we want to recycle him and bring him back? He lied that he lived in District 5. He did not live in District 5. He lived in District 7. Now, go pull the record. It was proven that he lied, and the property appraiser, Harike, did not do what he should have done because he was running for office himself and he didn't want to ruffle the black folks' feather. So all he did to Goose is make him, I think it was $13,000 fine. Those of you that know the exact amount. So right there, you lied about where you lived at and he had just come off a run for city council in District 7. So that wasn't that was a no-brainer. You say you lived over here and you ran in District 7, but then you turn around when District 5 came available and you ran in District 5. So people who have a problem with telling the truth, people, do we really want to go back to that foolishness? We're going to go to the phone line. Good morning, caller. You say, what's really happening?
I wanted Bishop Pat and John Green, as always. It's a great show, and I know we're kind of giving some.
Good morning. So good to hear your voice.
Bishop Pat and John Green, how y'all doing?
We blessed.
We doing good.
And really blessed to hear your voice.
Well, I like for you and John Green, who are voting people, regular voters, super voters, taxpayers in Hillsborough County, things that we should be looking for from any of these candidates, and maybe the new candidates that come up, because as John alluded to, it's going to be a lot of OJT. For people that don't know what that means, that's on-job training. Stop saying one has to have this, that, and the third. In any job we go on, I'm a professional. A lot of it's OJT on a daily and regular basis. So could you just share some tidbits, and for instance, you, who've been in the trenches for years and years, to say, hey, these are things we need to be listening for when these candidates go on these campaign trails, or sitting in front of you, or kissing your baby, and this, that, and the third. What should we be expecting, looking for from these individuals that you guys can see? And thank you for your time.
No, thank you. And number one, integrity. That's number one, integrity. Because if you have somebody sitting there and they don't have any integrity, that they have been proven over from past job, they're a liar and they still lying and they continue to lie. And when they have done things that should sound alarm, because with bloody underwears of a kid and all kind of stuff and watching children posture and you got a child in your car, that should be, hey, look, fella, you had 4 years, move on, find something else to do. And then what has he been doing? Nothing. Talk about Ariel. She was a co-owner, helped open that bookstore in East Tampa, because she, like her mother, believed in education. No one who has ever sat in any seat was knowledge, because that was your first year. Everyone learned once you get there. But she's ahead of the curve. She worked on some campaigns other than her mother. She's done a lot of things. She worked an intern with the Planning Commission, which is super important to this community. The Planning Commission, these folks, stuff that's happening now, they were already on the board 20 years ago. You all just finding out about it. And let me tell you something else, because I like the caller say, I've been there. I was there. Do y'all remember? And it wasn't long ago, it was just a year or two ago, when the cemetery, Memorial Park Cemetery, 22nd Street and MLK. Now, Noreen Copeland Miller, the late Noreen Copeland Miller, was a good friend of Orlando's. And so we didn't mix, okay, that's your friend, you supporting both of them, good. He lost her respect and he lost her vote and he lost her support when he told her to stop. Listen good, people. Stop coming down here to city council talking about that cemetery. That cemetery, it's a done deal. It's nothing to be done about it. So you need to stop. Noreen called me with tears in her eyes. She said, I'm not going to stop. And y'all remember Noreen was on a cane. She could barely walk. She had good days. She had bad days. But every Thursday, she said, I'm going to be at that council. Noreen Copeland Miller, her children, everybody in this community know every Thursday she was down there. But Orlando Goose, who was her friend, who she thought was something, they got a crew in the Gasparilla. She used to be on the ship. Y'all know. And she was just appalled.
So the cemetery that sits in East Tampa on Martin Luther King right now. Goose was there.
Yes,
he was in the seat.
Yes.
And they sold it.
They sold it.
The
city sold it.
And the community had to fight back.
And I'm not going to say the community. Noreen Copeland Miller, it was a handful of us.
She had to fight back.
Yes.
To
reclaim,
to raise the issue, to reclaim the community of the
black cemetery,
of the black community families who sit there, and he's sitting on there.
Yes, he was sitting there as the council for District 5,
and not saying anything about regaining the cemetery.
No, he told her to stop coming down there. Don't come. That it was nothing to be done. But we went, and I didn't go as many weeks as Noreen went, but Noreen went every rain or shine, and she kept it up. And she said, Bishop, it's the last thing I do. We're going to get that cemetery back. My brother's buried there, her grandfather, many of her family members. And guess what? Because of her effort, she reclaimed it. She got it done. But it was Orlando Goose, councilman, who was sitting in that seat, who would not fight for it, who would not raise his voice. It's public record.
Right,
Everything I'm saying is public record.
And this is the thing, is like we can pull the public record.
Yes, it's there.
But character matters. Now, if people talking about, let's know our candidates, right? All of this matters, right? Because I don't care if it was back in 92. That goes for me too.
Yes.
Right? If I can sit and say, yeah, I was an ex-drug dealer, I was an ex-whatever, stick-up boy, I was an ex-whatever, you know what I mean? And I'm going to run for something, and that comes up. If I don't have enough character and enough integrity and enough dignity to stand on me and what I've done, and realize that and bring it and present it to the community, at least to show the transparency of who I am, then that's a problem. Character flaws matter, especially in a race like
this. The number here is 813-728-1522. And I believe in redemption. I believe that we can be redeemed. I believe that, but we see clearly that what he did back then, he still was doing it on the council. We see he's still dealing with sexual things, dealing with minors, making comments. We see that. So it's not like I was reformed and I don't do that anymore. When you've been redeemed, when you've been reformed, you don't do those things, because we all have skeletons. We all have a past, but your past should not, you should say, that's what I used to do. But if you still continue that trend, then that's alarm. That's alarm.
It's a pattern, right?
Yes.
And when you have a pattern, you can't deny that fact, right?
But they say leopards don't change their spots.
Right. And and then again, we really have to say this again, and maybe we have to keep reiterating this: is that what you bring to the table, it all comes out on the table. You got written documents, right?
Yes.
We can go down there. We can go to the city and pull his record to see how he really voted, right? And that's going to come on everybody.
Correct.
right? It's going to come. So that doesn't dispel or dismisses what somebody might know who's coming in new, right? So I mean,
And we
it's
need
just
people with, okay, we in 2025. We need, you cannot, and I always use this metaphor and let people know, you cannot drive your vehicle looking in the rearview mirror. You can't do that. So it's time to turn the page on those who've done. And it's disappointing when you have someone like Bishop Thomas Scott, who's been in city council, who's been in county commission, who's sat on the sports authority board, who's sat on Tampa General. And there are some things about him too that we could get into on another show. But at the end of the day, it's time to teach that next generation. It's time to say, you know what? I've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. Let me pass the baton. I'm not saying he got to pass it to her, but there's other young people that you need to be shaping, grooming, but not being self-serving. That I think this is a cakewalk. I'm the one with all the experience. Well, why don't you take some of that experience and channel it? Because I'm looking at while you've been out of office, what have you done?
Well, I mean, and here it is again, right? Even after he got out of office, he tried to run a couple other times. And I remember sitting at the table with him talking, and I was with Robin, right? And I asked him,
Robin who?
Robin Lockett.
Okay, you
and
Robin
I asked him the question. I was knocking on doors when Frank Reddick was running, and when I think he was running for something too, or no, he wasn't running, but I think he may have.
Yeah, he ran for county. He Frank Allen ran for county commission, and the community spoke loud and well. Yeah. We're gonna talk about the results
because
of that election.
I was knocking on doors because I helped Frank when he first ran when he first got elected to the city, and he was the only one who didn't have to go to a runoff because he won a seat. But anyway, I was knocking on doors over there, and everybody was saying, and I still talk about this. Everybody was saying about how bad he was. Now, what they meant, I didn't know at the time, but they was like, oh no, right? And I'm like, okay, he's a pastor. He got his church in the community, but everybody in that community didn't like him, right? And that raised a question for me, like, what did he do? And to bring it to fast forward, if you keep running and you keep losing, then what's your intentions to keep running for? Is it the money at this point? Is it the prestige? Is it the attention? I mean, the attention that you need, or what is it? Because the community definitely don't like him. I mean, I talk to people right now and mention his name, and it's still the same
thing. Well, a couple of things come to mind. I know there was a young lady. Her first name Geraldine. I can't think of her last name. She used to come to council every Thursday about the roundabout that's right there in front of his church. Roundabout. And she was dead set against those roundabouts out there in the community. And then it came up later that there was some monies that was given to his church, allegedly given to his church. When he was over at Tampa General Hospital on the board, there's an article, there's documentation.
I've seen that article.
Yes, that $15,000 was funneled through his church, and that's during the time when we lost Tampa General. Tampa General, for you young people who don't know, it was a public hospital because people like now with this new bill just being paid, you don't have insurance, but you could always go to Tampa General to get health care. And so they wanted to privatize it. And during this time, Bob Gilder, because I was one of those on the front line fighting to keep it public, and they did it twice. We was able to fight it back. And then they brought in Bruce Siegel, who's a black guy. And then the next thing you know, it flipped and it went privatized. But yes, that's the article showing that about $15,000 went through his church. Now, any of these allegations that's in the paper, that's documented, if they're wrong, we're going to invite the candidates, call in and show and tell that this didn't happen, or they got the wrong Thomas Scott or the wrong Orlando Goose. If that's the truth, call and let us know. The phone number here is 728-1522. I don't know if you're posting. I cannot see what you're posting because we can't see. So if you got a comment, concern, or you want a clarification, or you want to clear up something, feel free to call. We don't ask you your name. We don't ask you your blood type. We don't ask you where you came from. But this is a discussion that need to be held. We're not going to be like other programs that has already endorsed people, and then you want to act like, oh, they the best thing since apple pie. We also know what comes with people like, and I'm talking about Orlando Goose again. When he was in there, he had some women ugly. I'm not saying the features are ugly. Had women that came to that dice and made ugly comments about this child. This child made derogatory comments about even Councilwoman Henderson. I shall never forget this person calling her lapdog. Person never even talked to a matter. But you're a black woman. And I said then, if he was any kind of man, if he was a real man and you sitting in that seat, I would have told those women, Stephanie Pointer and all them, I say, you know what? I appreciate y'all. I appreciate your support. I have legal representation. Don't do that. Because at the end of the day, this is a child and this is a mother. She is a woman. She's a black woman. Don't do that. Didn't happen. Well, every week they came down there with that foolishness.
Well, you know, I mean, one thing for sure, people have their people can voice their opinion however they want to do it, right?
No,
but
no.
As a but as a leader,
yes, there you go.
If you call yourself a leader in the community,
yes,
leading constituents,
yes,
right? Young, old, middle age, whatever you want to call it, right? If you that leader, you would stop it. You would have integrity to say, "Hey, we understand that." Like you said, you would have that, but not only that. Even in the streets,
mm-hmm.
I don't know how it is now, but when I was in the streets, kids was off limits.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Correct.
You know, period. I don't care if I didn't like your brother, your sister, whoever, your cousins, whoever. Kids was off limits, right? And to let foolishness like that happen to a kid, right? That bothers me, and this should bother any man who has a daughter or has a kid.
Niece,
period.
Cousin.
You know what I mean?
Woman.
Yeah. I mean, kids are off limits. And I don't care. Out of everything, kids is always.
And I always feel that if he would have took that posture, things might have turned around for him, because people would have seen, oh, he's a man of character, he's a man of integrity. But from what I was told, allegedly, that he was edging that on. Now, at the time, I didn't even know his aide, had never met her, didn't know the child. But as a mother, as a grandmother, as a great grandmother, I went down to that city council and spoke on behalf of these women, this child who I had never met. Listen good, had nothing to do with nothing, what was going on. It was about, this is not right. And as a black woman, because white women, they would never have tolerated that. They would have been out there with that t-shirts on. They would have been standing up for the aid, for the child. But black people, for some darn reason, I guess because you won't be invited to the party, or you won't be invited to this, or people won't speak to you, we do not stand up in defense of our own. But I did, and I didn't even know these folks. But it was about what's right. Because as a woman, first, I'm a woman. Secondly, I'm black. Third, like I say, I have a daughter. I have granddaughters. I have great granddaughter. And I just felt that, I was surprised that the community, that they supported what I was saying, but they didn't have the guts to come down and say, stop this foolishness. But that little game, every Thursday, sitting in the back of council, calling me out of my name, saying, I didn't give a rat's behind. Because at the end of the day, it was about doing what's right. And that's what I'm going to do, at what's right. But the voters, you did what's right. You voted him out of that seat. So no, they didn't come down, but at the end they did cast a vote, and it was not for him. And so people, for him to come back, I'm just saying, my God, we don't need no more drama. This district has finally got on the move. District 5, things are happening. Good things are happening out in District 5. So why would you want to go back? What was that? We ain't going back, Kamala Harris said. We ain't going back. People, we should not be going back, because you don't read a book flipping the page backward. You read the book going forward. So it's time for this community to say, hey, look, we're going to move forward. We want people that don't have all this baggage. We want people that has sat at the knee. And these are like this real estate girl, Colbert. Who is she?
Yeah, Joanna Colbert.
What is her name?
Joanna
Yeah. Colbert. I didn't hear her because I didn't watch Selling Real Estate, Tampa Bay Selling Real Estate. Who is this woman? What does she bring to the table?
Somebody messaged me yesterday asking me what's my opinion on her. I said, I have none. Right? I have none because I don't know her other than she was on selling Tampa real estate, So I mean, I have no opinion on her.
Young lady spoke to me at City Council 34 last. She's Italian, and she said the gall of her. I said, who are you talking about? She said she's not talking to the people, she talking to the elitists. And she was talking about the corporate girl. She say, young lady, I'm sorry, calling your girl, the young lady, that she sold high-end property.
That's what they did to the rich, selling Tampa.
Right, selling Tampa. See, I never watched the show, so I don't know. And that's my disclaimer. I never watched the show. And so that's who she's concerned about, is the rich folks, the upper people. She's not concerned about the masses. And people with all these cuts, that beautiful bill, big bill that man just signed. People, you are in trouble. Those are on SNAP, those that are Medicaid,
food stamps.
You are in trouble. You're going to lose health care. You're going to lose life. So you cannot afford to put somebody who really want to further maybe their real estate career. That's not what you ought to be about. One thing Ariel was talking about when she was here is about these hurricanes that is headed here. East Tampa, y'all need to look at these trees falling on top of your houses. You senior citizen, you need to look at the fact that you don't have insurance because you can't afford it. But the CRA, you out of that zone, but your house was tore up during the hurricane, that making sure that money is there. This young lady talked about the issues. Mm-hmm. She didn't talk about none of these people we talking about. She talked about the issue. Now these other folks, these other Republicans who's getting in here, and these white folks, they looking at, you got all those Negroes, they all in a barrel. So while they fighting and destroying one another, guess what? We can walk right on in, because whether you like it or not, District 5 face have changed.
Yeah. I mean, it's changing. I've been seeing the change. I've really been seeing how much it has changed, and it's like I was like, oh wow, this is just like this. But
go straight up 22nd, man, in the hood. Man. In the hood on Front Street. They don't look like us, those big old dogs that they walk. Oh, I got to tell people, give you an update. Y'all remember where the young lady in East Tampa was beaten by the white guy with this stick? Okay, he beat her. He was walking his dog. His dog was urinating in her yard. And she had a beautiful yard. They would come by, and she asked him, "Sir, don't let your dog urinate in my yard," blah, blah, blah. Next thing, he beating her. Y'all watched it right here on What's Really Happening. You, John, Mr. Game Changer, you call for black men to come take a stand with you about what took place. Orlando Goose didn't show up. Thomas Scott didn't show up. None of these black folks men, because you had black women who was ready to go to war. Black men didn't show up. Now these are black leaders. He's an ex-cop. He's an ex-city council. He know the drill. They did not stand up and say this is wrong. The NAACP president, Yvette Lewis, nobody stood in the gap. But
Well,
guess what? I got to give an
okay,
update what took place though. This just came to my attention yesterday that this same man, because now he feel like the black community didn't take a stand, wasn't doing nothing. It was some black guys in the neighborhood confronted him. He pulled out a gun. He pulled out a gun on them. They pulled out their gun on him. He took off running. I'm being told that he was arrested, and now he can't even go back to his house right now, that he had been arrested and charged. So people, what kind of leaders you want that won't even stand up for a black woman in the community? Go ahead.
Yeah, and that's the thing, you know, it's like not only was it black women, but it was Hispanic women calling me, white women calling me, and and some of them was from heart. It's like,
wow.
John, I'll come stand with you. I was like, nah, this is not a woman's issue, right? It's a male issue that we have to take care of this. So, you know, it's like, what do we do in the community? And I say we men, yes, right? We want to step up to something like this to defend you. You'll defend yourself for a seat, but you won't defend the community just for everyday life stuff. Yes, that's just happening. Like just coming, a white man coming in, beating a black woman, a senior woman with a stick. That could have been your grandmother. That could have been your auntie, you know, old auntie, cousin, anybody, right? And this is what I say about culture, man. This is what I say about culture here in Tampa, right? And I'm sure it's probably like this everywhere else, but I live in Tampa now, right? Culture is has left Tampa, and we can't always wait till something like this happened in a race for 11 people to get in to start saying that, oh, we all need to come together. And although we say it throughout the year, certain people say it throughout the year, but we can't wait to say, oh, we can't, you know, we all can't be divided regardless of how much we hate each other, right? Well, the processes that we do here in Tampa is not always right either. Correct. Right? If leaders want to really be leaders, do them like the NAACP. Have a real election, right?
But she has not.
Right?
Has a real election.
Let's start with that. Right? Let's do stuff the way it's supposed to be, so that we could see who the next leaders are that want to steps up through these organizations too. And so, you know, it's like, come on, black culture.
And what get me, everyone know. Go ahead, caller. Good morning.
Like the NAACP, have a real election.
Yeah.
All right, caller. No, go ahead, caller. What's really happening? Good morning, Mr. Joe Robinson.
Y'all need the truth out there, because the voters around here, you know, they ain't really concerned right now, but they gonna wake up real soon. Yeah, soon after these holidays school back in, they gonna wake up off the beach, all this vacation and all this barbecue and focus on fireworks. But I just want to say, I appreciate y'all getting the word out. And the other thing too, I'm starting to see pop up is these fake so-called candidate forums. Like they started candidate forums as setups, try to take candidates out, embarrass you. They go in there biased with whoever they ask the questions to and all that. So there's going to be a lot of fake candidate forums. So beware of fake candidate forums popping up when people don't say who they are. They advocates for the community, advocates for what community, for what. If you don't put your name, who he is, and all that on candidate forum is suspect, that's a setup. So I tell candidates to be careful of those fake candidate forums. And the last thing I want to say is that I'm so glad that the Tennyson daughter running. Okay, and I don't care what nobody say. I'm telling everybody publicly, privately, individually, I'm supporting that girl. And I don't want anybody to mess around, wash around, and play these games that I've seen in the last 56 years. Right? I'm telling you. The Rock say, put up that nonsense. Y'all want to bring it on. Bring it on. Okay? All of my words, bring it on. But y'all better walk the line. That's all I got to say. Walk the line. You know, we playing this hard, no nonsense. That's all I'm going to tell you now. Let me go back and get some work done.
But Joe Kate, would you tell the name who you supporting? Give the whole name. Tell her name who you supporting. You say the daughter. What's the daughter name? Ariel Danley. Okay, Joe, we appreciate. Amen. Thank you so much for that call. And people, if you want to get it called in, you need to do it now. 813-728-1522. And people know the relationship that Bishop Thomas Scott had with Yvette Lewis, the NAACP. So he could have said, hey, Yvette, we need to take a position against this man beating this woman out in the street. No position was taken. But even with that, no election. There has not been a fair election for the NAACP. Go ahead, caller. You say what's really happening. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, how you doing?
We blessed. Go ahead.
Hey, I just want to thank Mother Bishop and Brother John and Brother Melvin. I just want to thank y'all. Y'all doing good community service for all the information that y'all are sharing. One thing I do want to say is that when you see black people running for office and they continually run for office, you have to take a look behind the curtain. But more than likely, somebody else is continuously pushing them to run for some reason that may be detrimental to the black community because of something that they may want. So I would just encourage the citizens to pay attention to those people that I had heard y'all talk about that I do not know, but from what y'all have shared, I believe that somebody is actually pushing them. I hate to say it, but 9 times out of 10 is somebody white, or either somebody who wants to be close to white people. So I would encourage the citizens to take a look at that, take a look at those people, see who they talking with, who they meeting with, and get the truth. And don't be afraid to approach them and ask them really why they are running. For one, because they haven't been successful. Ask them and see what kind of answer they're going to give you. If it's going to be the same answer or a new answer. But that's why I encourage you. I thank y'all for telling the people, keeping the people informed. Continue to do what you do because it takes individuals like y'all to help make a difference.
Melvin, hold on. I know you personally, and I know that you was a councilman or something too, so you know the game, right? So you just not speaking as a lay person. You actually speaking as a council person.
Yes, because the two individuals that I heard y'all talk about today, y'all lay down all the evidence that there's somebody behind them. They could probably go off into the sunset and sit down and be by themselves, but somebody's really encouraging them for some reason. Whatever that ward is, y'all need to take a look because there may be some opportunities there that we may not see as black people that somebody else is seeing. And they want to do that. Or either it may just be the power structure. They might just want to control an individual because that individual can sway some more individual once they get on the council. So it's really deep. It goes deep like that. We as black people got to really start looking at politics as it is. And I tell people all the time, next to your religion, politics is the next thing that runs your life. Because y'all, the politicians are the ones that decide on what their light bill is going to be, what their water bill is going to be, what their trash is going to be, what their taxes is going to be. Those things affect you as an individual personally. But next to your religion, if you got a religious belief, or any spirituality, politics is the next thing in line. Or either politics may be first in line. All depends on how you roll. So again, we got to wake up to this political stuff and get serious about it. Because we don't, we're going to be in trouble. We already see it.
Thank you so much. And I'm going to speak to that because he's dead on point. Because I was receiving phone calls about Bishop Scott. The developers, he's always been a developer man. way back to the county commission. They say, look at it, who always been behind him. So you look at the gentrification that has taken place in the Black community. So Melvin is right on point. What he's saying, look who's supporting these people. Look who's behind them. And we know Goose, he got some, I don't know what all his issue is, but it's an egotistic issue for number one. And we see he have problem with telling the truth no matter what. So people, you District 5, it's time for you to stop listening to that foolishness. And I'm gonna tell you, I ran into, it was 3 people in one house, and I'm talking to these are older people. They're a little older than I am, and God's will. On the 22nd, people, I'll be 72 July 22nd, throw that in. This is my birth month. But I'm talking to these 2 older people, and there was another person. She said, well, I'm gonna vote, she was saying for him. And so the 2 older people shut me up and told her, why would we put him back in there? Why would we want this drama back in? What did he do? And I'm standing there like, whoa, it was a ping pong match. And then they say, no, we're going for Ariel. We're going for young, youthful, intelligent person, people who going to bring something to the table. But this him person that you talking about, we would not support him under any circumstances. When he was in there, what did he do for us? And we glad he gone. Things quiet down. Things are moving in the right direction. Why would we bring this back? The young lady ended up agreeing with them. He lost a vote right there when the people went to presenting the argument as to why would we bring this back. We don't need no more of these people coming up there who come with him. He don't just come. He bring his baggage with him. He bring these folks who nothing but baggage. And so the people saying, these old people say, we're not going back. We're not going to do that. And they're saying, and they called her name. And I was like, wow, they know her name. And so I'm standing there, and I didn't have to say anymore. Okay, well, y'all got this. But she ended up flipping her, saying she going to vote for Ariel Danley. It's Danley.
Yeah. So we want to talk about before we get ready.
Yeah, we almost about ready. Folks, you got to call. You better call in now. 813-728-1522. 813-728-1522. We're just about out of time, but go ahead.
We want to talk about the Thomas DeGeorge candidate running, right?
Yeah, from
so
off of 7th Avenue to Crowbar.
So Thomas, he owned the Crowbar in Ybor City, right? And I'm going back and forth with my brother yesterday, and I respect him. Everybody entitled to who they're going to support, right? But and this is why I say culture and young people, not getting with the young people, because now we got the brother who, because he have a relationship or whatever, he's like, oh, I'm going to support this guy, right? And we got a whole community that's being decimated, just totally wiped out, right? But he got the crowbar, and he gonna always have his money. So we going back and forth, and I'm saying to myself, this is why we need Black culture.
Yes.
Right? So that we can keep our kids, because this guy is giving them something so that he can do shows, and that's his compensation to get all our youth over there.
So this guy is supporting this white guy who owns a business in Ybor City called the Crowbar, but he's supporting him because of what he does for him.
Right.
It's not what he's done for the community, what he's doing for the community, for the people, but it's no different from what happened in Africa. We would never have been slaves, because those Europeans, they couldn't go catch the slave. It was other slaves that they gave little trinkets to, gave them some liquor to get them drunk, gave them some little trinkets, and then they chased down the Africans and sold them for nothing. And so it's no different from the day, because he's being compensated. The man doing this for him, he feeling like he got to sell out his community for this guy who I'm hearing is
Well, the reality of things is that we definitely going to have sellouts in the community.
We have another caller. All right, caller. Good morning. Go ahead, caller. What's really happening? Go ahead, caller.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, Doc? How are you, Bishop? This is Mike Randall.
Oh, so good to hear from you, sir. I need you to call me after the show on my 495-3702 number. I definitely need to speak to you. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I definitely had to jump in, because what we need is candidate with the new school and next generation approach. We cannot go backwards to what was. We need a candidate that's not only young, but is willing to be a new school, next generation approach candidate. And we're looking forward to that candidate, and we already know who she is. But we're definitely looking forward to that. West Tampa is having a forum on August the 21st to meet all of the candidates and talk about new school, next generation approach. And not yesterday, because if yesterday was doing right, we wouldn't be in a position that we're in now. So certainly we support Councilwoman Henderson's daughter because she's come with a new school, next generation approach, innovative approach, and that's what's necessary, especially in these times for crazy president like that president in office. Thank you.
No, thank you. And Michael, please call me after the show. And Ariel, she has been a resident of District 5 for 34 years. She was 1 year old when her mother purchased their home right there on Central. And she's been there all her life. She's been away for school. She go back and forth for job, but she's been right there. She know the heart of the district. She know what the district need. And I like what he said. She can bridge that gap between the old and the new, you know, young and old.
Yeah.
She's not saying, okay, I have no need of the senior, or it's just, she's saying it's time for us to come together as one, that we need to be on the same page. We need to be moving District 5 forward. District 5 need to look like, I came through West Tampa yesterday, Michael. District 5 need to look like how things over there in West Tampa, Hyde Park, you know, Ybor, all these places are like, you know, they're building up, they're doing, but East Tampa is being left behind because you got the same gatekeepers who want to hold on to everything. They want to stay in charge. They want to stay in control. And those of you that are following those paths, because I haven't seen them bring in a winner in a long time, because the community is speaking loud and clear. They sick and tired and sick of the same recycled people coming up here, not thinking that it's time for a change. People, it's time for a change. Good morning, caller. You say what's really happening.
Good morning. Good morning. I am the aunt of Ariel Danley, and I just thought I would chime in. My name is Melody Henderson, and to let the people know that Ariel is a brilliant young lady. She comes with no baggage. She's sincere in her intent to continue the legacy of her mother. We as people think that that's, you know, far-fetched, but so many other people who have done it before, other families, the Gore family, the Bush family, they continue the legacy of their family because they were there at the forefront. They were there at the initial beginning. They were one of the very first foot soldiers on the ground supporting their family and securing their campaign. Ariel is that person. She is boots on the ground. She has her family supporting her. She has her campaign supporters. So many people want to see the legacy continue and for her to put her own spice on this campaign and is best that are best for District 5. And her platform speaks volumes for the things that we do need in our community for District 5.
Thank you so much. I certainly appreciate that, Auntie.
You're welcome. You know, it took a lot for me. I don't normally get involved, but when my sister was running, I did hear a lot of the hurtful things.
Yes.
And it hurt me, and especially as Black women.
Yes.
Black Americans.
Yes.
Whether you agree with the person or not, keep the comments to yourself.
Yes.
Because it doesn't do any good when other ethnicities say that we're opposed against each other.
Mm-hmm.
Run your race. Let us run our race. Okay, let the voters decide.
Appreciate that. And she's right on point. And let me tell you something that happened yesterday. I went to the bookstore over Black English. Where was Ariel? Not at a 4th of July party, not this and that. She was there working in the bookstore. Who came in the door of the bookstore? Caucasians. that brought their children, that came and they were buying books when I walked in the store. And I just sat there and I'm looking. But this what this young lady, she's about business. She's a business owner. She's a business and a quick study. She know what's going on. She has her finger on the pulse of the community. And so people, as the auntie just said, it's time to move forward. It's time to get people who can run their own race. I'm not going to get in this foolishness that these folks are all about. Not going to do it. She has too much to give and to offer to the community, and I'm just so happy. You know that's something. Auntie didn't call when sister was running, but Auntie know her niece, and nothing better than a stamp of somebody who know you from the dirty diapers all the way up. So we appreciate that you calling in, and so community and special people that are not from here, we're going to ask that you do your homework, do your research. Don't go by what John and I are saying. It is a fact. It's still in the archives. Pull up political fact. Pull up the Florida Sentinel Bulletin. And I was so just shocked when he admitted to saying the things he said to the aide about the daughter. And he said, but it didn't rise to that level. Where people, folks who commit crimes, what they say, well, yeah, I killed Johnny, but I didn't really, I didn't think it was going to be that bad, but Johnny is dead. So people, y'all better listen, see, and send, let them know. It's over with. We through with that. Send them back. Those that been here, done that. Hey, it's time for a new day. These people who want to sell Tampa Bay, go sell Tampa Bay, whatever you're selling. But that's not what we need. We need people who going to move the needle, who going to think about the mom and pop, help make entrepreneur, get people to partnership. There's a guy there have a plumbing company. Hopefully he can work with Ariel to maybe start an apprenticeship over at Milton. These are things that need to be done in our community. Come together. And once that person, whoever wins the election, we work with them. We got to work with them because we're working with the good of the community. And a lot of them wouldn't do that with the councilwoman, but I can see the councilwoman right now. We moving this train forward. You can get on now. You can get on at the next stop. But guess what? The train has left the track, and we're going to keep it going. And that's the same spirit that Ariel Danley brings to the forefront. So we're going to commend her. And let me say something right here. I'm going to take a pause. There was a lot of emotions going on with Ariel during the time of her mother's death. A lot of people, and I still can't even grasp it, because when I got the news, and I'm just a friend of late, the last 15 months, it was devastating. My husband was in shock. This house, we just stopped. It looked like time stopped. But here this young lady gets up and go to her mom, because her mom is an early riser, because her mother was also a school teacher, educator. And to find your mother cold in her bed. She went to sleep with, and we heard Gwen call this program, talking about all the things she had accomplished and all the things she looked forward to accomplish. And when she went to bed that night, she probably had a lot on her mind what she was going to do the next day. But it was Ariel who found her. And then, as an only child, and with the help of her village, she had to be the one to step in and make a ring, do this and that. So for her to do all these things, I'm looking at this young lady in awe, because I don't know, as a bishop who know that the transition is needed and that we leaving this place going on to another place, it's still, we have those human emotions. But how courageous she is that this has taken place. And some people might say, well, she was kind of out of, yes, she was out of sort. Go find your mama died in her bed. Go have to deal with all the things she had to deal with. But she's grieving, but she's saying, my mom put a lot of work in 15 months in this district, and I'm going to stand and continue. I got bright ideas. I got some things that we can help facilitate this, keep this going. So I applaud you, young lady, for your courage. I told her she's like an old soul. I got, well, she's her mother's daughter. Because Gwen is one of those, you might have slapped that cheek, but she knew how to bounce back and bring the other cheek and keep it moving. So we're going to say till next week. We hope we're giving y'all a lot to think about. We're going to delve deeper into some of these other folks. But people, those of you who vote by mail, listen good. You vote by mail, you need to call in and request your ballot. You're not going to automatically get it. The governor, they playing games, but you have to call in and request your vote by mail. If you're not sure whether you're registered or not, go on to the supervisor election, find out whether you're registered. If you have not, I'm talking to my 18-year-olds, y'all, 20, 25 babies, y'all can vote now. My granddaughter, she can't wait to vote. Please make sure that you are ready. If you haven't registered, register to vote. Bring everything up to date, because this District 5 race is so very, very important. Don't let the people with the loud mouth, the profanity, the nastiness, the ugliness persuade you or intimidate you. They are real bullies. I know. I've been assaulted. I've been verbally and physically. But at the end of the day, folks, it's about the young people. It's about this community moving forward. John, when I leave here, I want to be said that I've done the best I could while I was here to help move the next generation. As the auntie said, other people, they're not ashamed to say, yes, I started this, and I'm so happy that I remember the Kennedy Jr., different ones, and his son, and people kept moving the chain along. So there's no harm in that, in doing that. And so we as Black folks, we got to get our thought process, we got to change it if we're going to be counted in, because these people are leaving us behind, whether we like it or not.
Well, we living in trauma.
Yes.
We live in stress.
Yes.
And not realize we living in stress. But going back to Ariel, for her to go through her mom's funeral, now to handle all the bills, all the business, still grieve, still do her thing, her business, that speaks to, I can have strength in times of hardship. I can have focus in times of hardship. I can have character in times of hardship, and I can deal with other people's problems, right? While my mom only been gone for 2 weeks right now, and this happening in real time.
Yes.
So we can't neglect the fact that she cannot handle business when time gets rough.
I like that, John. She can walk and chew bubble gum all at the same time.
And the bills still don't stop.
Wow.
And the bills still don't stop.
Listen at that. So if y'all was looking at one of the reasons, there it is right there. She and like these other people, after they lost races, they went somewhere and they bitter and they drinking on at the grotto bar and talking foolishness and acting crazy. This young lady has shown that things still go on even in the worst of time, the hardest time, and there's nothing harder than losing a mom, and you was the only child, and it was always you and mother from the day you came out the womb, to say, hey, I got to pick myself up, because not only my mother did it, but this district needs.
She's showing her character.
Yes, she's showing
her focus.
Yes,
she's showing her strength.
Yes.
What do y'all want? She making decisions right now.
Yes,
she running us. I'm on the campaign. So that's it.
All right. Until next week, Deacon Patty, thank you for allowing us to go over by 15 minutes. We appreciate that. Y'all, please don't hesitate to share this podcast. Don't hesitate to call family and friends. If God's will, we will be back on next Sunday. Those of you, tomorrow is first Sunday. So those that are a member of my church, I hope you started studying your Sunday school lesson. Make sure you have your communion. We will be doing all of our service in the morning, 11 a.m. service. God bless you all, and I thank you for your prayer. Let's keep everybody in prayer. Please, people, run a clean campaign. Nastiness not gonna work, but be nasty and see what the voters say. I think the voters are really sick and tired of people with all the nasty and negative. We wants to move East Tampa forward. That park out there, Fair Oaks Park, the housing. There's a complex going up right now that has culinary
What's-
in there.
this
So,
is what's really happening.
yes. So we gonna
Come
say
back
thank
next week.
God,
We'll be ready.
hey,
We'll be good.
The people
We'll be
just
ready
need
to
to
go.
know what's on the plate because y'all need to get ready. You need to get vote, and you need to be concerned about what's going on. God bless you all until next Saturday morning for what's really happening. Make sure you share it.